signed off before, but we were looking at the painting when we were done, and there's some other things I need to do to it, so I thought I would continue sharing with you my thoughts on this and what I need to do. First of all, in the photograph, it's really, really dark in here. So I need to go back with just my Hooker's green, maybe add a little bit of alizarin crimson, which is kind of a burgundy red color, and I'm going to make it really dark in here. There is no light, and I had it kind of an ugly brown, so I'm going to do that. And you know, these shadows are so important in a painting, and we need to study them when we see them and memorize them, and it makes all the difference. And then as I looked at this, I wasn't real happy at all. So these need to be grounded a little bit more. Just see how that just makes them sit. This guy is in a lot of shade. So I can pop this out a little bit more. I'm going to add some, I'm using my smaller brush now because it's towards the end of the painting.
And that's the 1/2 inch, right?
Yep. And I'm adding some lighter green in some of the leaves. And some dark in here.
And when you say lighter green,
The yellow or white added with Hooker's green.
okay.
So I'm putting some leaves right over where I painted around things. It just gives it some interest. I know this is confusing over here. I'm going to bring this pot down a little bit. So,
Yeah.
does that look better?
Yes, it does.
Well, thank you, Jane.
Yeah.
I knew I could save this, but I'm happy with this painting, so I'm very happy with this painting. I think I've painted it before, and it's always a good subject, but it really does need something in that pot up there, I think. I think the pot's just alone. Now, I picked up some more red here. I'm going to add Naples yellow and white, and I'm just going to do my negative painting within these shadow. This is the shadow of these flowers in this pot up against the wall. Now, if you want to put a little landmass back here, maybe it needs it. Let's just pick up some light green, which is yellow and Hooker's green. Add a little white to it. Maybe we could put a little. You gotta play around and mix your colors. It's not a perfect formula. You gotta find it. Just a little landmass back here. That kind of helps, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does something about a balance with it. Yeah.
It does. And you're right, it just kind of brings everything, yes, it makes sense. Who would have thought? I can't wait to pop it in the frame tomorrow. So just a little rim on it, just the little details here. This is what we do. We go, oh, that looks good, and then you just keep doing it, and then you bore the viewer with all your repetitiveness. So it's easy to do. But I think I just need to clean up this white a little bit. And I'm going to pick up my bigger brush, and I'm going to, my white is really destroyed, but Now it's got blue in it. Somehow I picked up a little bit of red and it just carried through and tried to take over. And now it's doing it again. Have any questions about painting or anything, you can always email me. I'm back. I just, I didn't want to, finish the video or the class right then until I showed you exactly what I did to finish it. Because I like to come in the next day and when the painting is totally dry, and always give it some fresh paint and a fresh eye too, to look at it in a different light and after you've rested and gotten away from it. So I want to show you, this is my finished product. And I think what pulled it together more was I darkened the water. You can see I used Velo blue and a little add white to it to lighten it a little bit, but you can just see that by deepening the value of the water, it contrasts against the sky a little bit, and that really works out. Another thing I did, which I wasn't real happy was with the shape of that sail. It wasn't right. So as I studied the picture, I noticed that it is connected to this main mast right here. So I'm going to give you a little tip right now on if you do need to make straight lines, you can use a T-square. If you have any rigging in a boat or anything, so all you do is take your T-square and you can just kind of tilt it to the side a little bit. See, like that. And then you can take your paint and you just take your brush and guide it along there. Break it up a little bit. You always want to break up your line a little bit. Just guide it right down there and you can get a straight line. Another thing you can use the T-square for is to check on the straightness of your horizon line. So sometimes it's just a little bit hard to get that right, and we can always use that. So this is a great tip for painters. Don't rely on it too much. We don't want too many straight and perfect lines, right? We don't want that. So, and that's about it. So now I'm just shared with you what I did, and I just kind of added a little bit more shadows and some real fresh brush strokes onto the sails, onto everything. When it's bone dry, you can come back and put those confident brush strokes on there because everything's already painted, so you don't have to be nervous, and just pop some lights and some shadows on there, and it gives your sails a little bit of form. And if you don't like all this color, another really nice way to paint sailboats is to paint them just white. And then you can shadow them with the purples and the blues in the shadow area to give them form. So it makes for a little bit of a softer painting, and I'll give you an example of that before I go, of what a sailboat painting can look like if you just paint the sails white. And it's really a softer look, and it's, the color isn't all over the place. I decided to put the color in the sky instead. And it's an easy painting to live with, and you can also paint the one painting that we did, and you can make the sails like this if you find it a better experience for you. So everything else is pretty much the same and painted the same, so happy painting with your sailboats. Thanks, and don't be afraid to email me. And if you have any questions about anything and about these boats and about this painting, so happy painting. Thanks.